Oh boy. Welcome in, everybody. Got a lot to talk about. Chad and Lizzie from Game of Roses are here to join.
Howdy.
We
How are you?
Some part of us is here, but not all.
How are you doing, Steve? Slow day.
So let's start here. That Duke Sienna game at halftime. I mean, this thing is Sienna's up double digits on a number one seed. It's never happened in the history of the.
Is this basketball?
Yeah, it is basketball.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I don't even know where to begin, but Chad, I'll just start with you.
No.
Sure. This is Nick Vial's fault.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I love the fact that Donna Bowling posted that video of him literally bragging about it back when she was announced as the Bachelorette, taking credit for it and saying, "Oh, it's gonna be great. The ratings are gonna be great." It's like, this is what you get, Nick. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where to begin with it. There are so many pieces to this entire story. Yeah. One of which is there's a new Disney CEO that took over Wednesday. This is his first week on the job. That's intense, thinking about all the guys that put their lives on hold for 2 months to go into this season that will now never be aired. Thinking about how this
Teddy's first real season.
Scott Teddy, like, I don't know how this will affect his career. Thinking about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, that production is on hold. Is she going to be able to come back? Taylor Frankie Paul, do they even want her back? Does this violate her probation or parole, whatever she was on from her first domestic charge? Does this mean jail time for her? There are so many moving pieces to it, but the biggest one is we are now going to go at least 2 or 3 months without another Bachelor product, and it could even be the end of the entire franchise.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you think this is the end? And I don't think we know an answer right now.
I agree.
But Lizzie,
yeah.
Before we get to the video itself, I was looking at the statement, and there's a part of me that's like, and I might just be reading into words here, but let me read what Disney Entertainment spokesperson said. In light of the newly released video just surfaced today, we have made the decision to not move forward with the new season of The Bachelorette at this time and focus on supporting the family. Do you think there's any way that Taylor Frankie Paul season airs in like a month?
No.
Okay. I mean, saw at this time, and I got a little weirded out.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just
could just be
trying to leave shit up in the air. But as soon as I saw that video, I was like, they can't at any time.
But
like,
yeah, no, I get it. But here's the thing. That video was from 2023. We knew everything that happened in that video from the police report. Like, it has been documented. It was, part of it. Just the police arriving was part of episode 1, season 1 of Secret Lives. But it's almost like, and I said this on TMZ today, and Harvey Levin actually agreed with me. This kind of reminds me, Lizzie, I don't think you will get this reference. Chad will. The Ray Rice situation in the NFL. Where the NFL knew there was a video out there of an NFL player literally cold cocking his girlfriend in an elevator, and they just hoped it didn't get out.
Yeah.
And then it does, and they're like, "Oh, we're appalled. We're suspending him."
I feel like this happens in the NFL all the time.
Yeah. So
they're like, there's constant things like this, but there's not one star of the NFL. Exactly. Like Taylor Frankie Paul is the star of the titular Bachelorette. Chad and I just finished watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, aka Slumwa, last night.
Yeah.
And they do a countdown leading to the premiere of The Bachelorette.
Yep.
And it's the same parent company, ABC, for both shows. So we question who knew what when.
Exactly.
Because there's so many things, so many moments before they started shooting that they could have replaced her. Kayla Quinn, JoJo Fletcher style, even Claire Crawley, Tayshia Adams style, like there were so many chances.
That to me is like all of these, the current allegations, even the video, all of that aside, all of that is terrible, obviously, and has led to this decision. Even all of that aside, if you just watch what happened in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 4, there is no way she should have been Bachelorette. And the information that's coming out of that shoot, I can guarantee, is landing somewhere, maybe Rob Mills at ABC, And they're saying like, well, she's sleeping with Dakota. We have a month until the Bachelorette. She did it again. We have 2 weeks until the Bachelorette. She did it again. We have 1 day until the Bachelorette.
Oh, she's
They're
screaming
fighting.
at her mom. Seems like she's not well.
She tells him she loves him in the final episode, like as she's about to step out of the car to go shoot Bachelorette.
Yeah.
It's like, at what point did they think this was still okay?
I
don't get it. And like, I had high hopes for this season before Secret Lives came out, before any of these allegations came out, before we saw the video. Obviously, I thought that casting her was a good idea, and we've talked on Game of Roses a lot about casting a famous person as the lead. And I still think that's the way to go. They just picked her, and she wasn't in a good place to do this. And I think she did kind of, at least in my mind, when she went on Call Her Daddy and they did the announcement, she did, I think, have some goodwill going into that. She addressed the 2023 incident, said, I've worked on myself. It was a dark moment, whatever. And I was like, all right, I'm on board. Let's see what she can do. And I did think that she was going to bring enough interest to maybe resurrect this franchise. Unfortunately, all the things that have happened in the past week or whatever. And that video, even though it's an incident that happened in 2023, like when you see it happening, that is a different thing. And that video is rough, man. Like that's
even if you don't have context and you don't know what has happened before, it's incredibly hard to watch.
And you know what, Lizzie, as you being a new parent, I'm telling you, the amount of people, even in just the last hour, 2 hours since this thing got out, the amount of people that have come to me and said and gone with the whataboutism defense. Well, we didn't see what he did to her. Like, some people are actually saying that. I'm not even saying Dakota didn't provoke this.
Yeah.
But the bottom line
we
is
have no idea.
We don't have video of that. We have video of what she did in return. And this is what I said on TMZ, and this is the thing that disturbs me the most about that video. We obviously know she was drunk that night, possibly on some sort of narcotic as well. But even if she was just blackout drunk, we see in the video the chair throwing. The second that chair deflected or anything deflected and hit the daughter and India is screaming, the second Taylor's reaction wasn't to run to her daughter and protect her and say, Mommy's here, it's okay, but does the complete opposite and just continues to scream at Dakota, it's all your fault. This stuff of her doing her media tour yesterday saying, hey, I know I'm a good mother. Unfortunately, no, you're not, because I don't care how heightened that situation was and who started it. The bottom line was, the second the kid was there and got hit with the chair and you didn't run to protect your daughter for what you did, sorry, you lose all points with me. How could she not do that? How could she not run to her daughter when the daughter is screaming and the chair hits her? And she just, no, it's your fault, Dakota. I'm like, wait a second, we're losing sight of what just happened here, people.
Kids should never be around people that are that messed up, period. Regardless of all of the extreme circumstances that happen with this. It's I cried multiple times watching the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season, because it's like all of this messed up stuff is happening in all of the storylines, and the kids are going to be the ones who are suffering from it the most, probably.
Oh, for sure. And TMZ just reported that they have photos of what's her ex-husband's name? Tate?
Yeah.
They have photo of Tate and Dakota at the courthouse on Tuesday. They're both filing separately for sole custody of the children.
Oh my God.
And restraining orders against her.
And restraining orders.
This is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. It's as bad as it can be. I don't pretend to have any details on the actual situation between these people. Yeah. And I wish everybody the best, especially the kids. I hope the situation gets worked out and all that. I am more focused, I guess, in my analysis of this franchise on the kind of corporate structure and who made the decisions to continue with this. And they knew about this. They knew about the most recent allegations, the ones that happened at the end of February. Yeah. They knew about that. And they sent her out on the red carpet at the Oscars. They sent her out to the NBA All-Star game. They sent her out to do these promotional things. And if you even right now, go look at the official ABC Bachelorette Instagram account, they posted something this morning that was hey, we're moving to Sunday nights. Get ready for the fun season. And it's just like, they don't care. The corporate greed machine that controls this franchise is just like, pump it out.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Keep posting.
Yeah. Ignore until they can't anymore, until this video comes out. And it's like, who is going to watch this season after they've seen that video and be like, Dark Lord Palmer, or sorry, we called Jesse Palmer Dark Lord Palmer, all the hosts we called Dark Lords. But there's a moment that they played in the Good Morning America interview they did with her, a little clip package where Jesse Palmer's standing in front of the mansion being like, okay, Taylor, you deserve this.
Yeah.
Let the journey begin. It's like, how is anyone going to be able to watch that and buy into the lie of what the show is? Like, she has done so much to counteract that lie. It can't work anymore. The show needs to be able to have some believability in that lie. And this season, it was just not possible, I think, after all of this.
So here's my question that I'm having in terms of the structure and the timing of everything. So obviously we know this was video evidence of what happened in 2023. That was part of the first episode of the first season. Now, this is the first time this video is being seen. From the story that I read in TMZ, it said that this video was submitted as evidence in her case. I mean, she pled guilty to this already and has gone to therapy, and the video was out there. So my question now is, Hulu, knowing this video was out there, filmed 4 seasons, because this all happened before the very first episode of Secret Lives aired. ABC filmed a whole season of The Bachelorette knowing that this video was out there. So is this a situation where these executives at Hulu and ABC were literally crossing their fingers hoping this video wouldn't get out? Do you think they knew about it? Because it was submitted as evidence. Why did it?
How would they know? How would they know about it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. According to what I read in the TMZ report, TMZ said a copy of this video was part of the evidence against her in that trial. So I don't know.
Isn't that private? Isn't that hidden?
Maybe it is. That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
like,
TMZ
why did it
got
get
it.
Now?
It ain't that
TMZ
hidden.
got it. So,
right. And the timing of it too, like days before this premiere, it's sinister. No, they knew at least everything that I doubt you watch Slomla, Steve, but
I'm aware of it.
There are like 50 things that happen in the season that came out.
I've seen all the
where
clips.
you're like, pull her as the Bachelorette.
Look, when
like,
she was announced,
she's not in a good spot. You know, at least that much. Like,
every main character of season 4 at one point or another, including her mother and all of her friends, are like, you should not do this. You're not ready to do this. The whole season is basically an anti-commercial for the Bachelorette. So again, all this outside stuff aside, which is the worst of it, but even without that, just having watched that season, you're like, how are they ever going to make this work with Bachelorette? The season literally ends with her missing her flight to come to do the Bachelorette because she had sex with Dakota the night before and wakes up in quotes sick. And then they try to promote this idea that maybe she's pregnant.
I would understand if
insane.
like Slomla was NBC or something and they were like, let's take down ABC or something, but it's under the same company. How does this? I mean, I guess it's just like we've sunk too much money into it. But it's like they hadn't even shot yet. They could have replaced her with another Slomla woman. They could have replaced her with Miranda, Layla, Latia Gar.
Latia Gar is in season 4 of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. She's friends with all of them.
We've been
She's
robbed
in a couple of scenes
of a Latia scene.
Yeah. And Latia, I think, is like,
come on now.
Latia was like one of my favorite players in Modern Bachelor by far. And her story, I think, still resonates. She is still relevant in that she's in the current season of Secret Lives. She would have been a perfect selection for this, I think. And they just didn't do it.
There's so many people. Anyone else?
I mean, the thing is, before this video today, I mean, I've been saying it since September 10th. I've got no problem with them going the celebrity route.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But why this woman? It has nothing to do with, because I got kickback and pushback from people saying, well, we're not giving people second chances. I'm like, no, it has nothing to do with her not being able to get a second chance at love and finding somebody to be her partner in the future. It was all about, for this particular show, she shouldn't have been given this platform because she had a DV within 3 years. And you and I both know if this were the other way around, No bachelor. If they said John Smith is our new bachelor, he's 35 years old, he's a CEO, but if you Google him, 3 years ago, he threw a bar stool at his ex-girlfriend and it hit their kid. And the kid was endangered at the time. Do you think that there would be pitchforks outside of ABC from women saying, how are you letting this former abuser on the show as your lead? We all know that never would have happened. So why
ABC has let countless abusers on their shows? Like, let's take the gold standard, Hannah Brown season. There was someone with a DV thing that got disappeared from that show. Like, they've definitely cast people like this before. Not as the lead.
Not as the lead, yeah.
But the flip side of that, maybe the only thing that I can see in their mind is like, people know about it. That the whole arrest is on TV. It's how Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 1 opens, literally with that arrest. You see it. She has been very publicly vocal about it. That's a part of her character, that you either love her or hate her, but that's a piece of it, you know? So maybe they thought like the audience is okay with it. Clearly, Secret Lives is a giant hit.
She's healing.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing when this video came out today, to the people that are saying, well, I bet you Dakota was the one to provoke it. Again, flip it around. If this video was Dakota doing all the stuff that she was doing in the video, would your take be, well, Taylor must have provoked it somehow? No, it wouldn't be. Yeah. It would be like, oh my gosh, this man is the worst human being ever. And I'm not saying Dakota's innocent.
I mean, I don't think gender swaps like in this situation like are always 1-to-1. Taylor is a tiny little person. Dakota is a giant man. 90, a huge percentage of DV is done by men.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I have personal experience. Like, I had a friend who was killed by her partner from my friend from college. It's a incredibly serious problem, and it's like, it's rarer, but it definitely happens. But we see the video. Yeah. Like,
I'm stunned at the amount of people that are coming today and are just like, but he provoked it.
I mean, and they don't know her. You know, it's the parasocial power. We don't know any of these people. Yeah. We don't know. And that's like, it was when the second incident came out, it's like they're both accusing the other one of starting it, and we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's an investigation's ongoing right now into this incident, right? We don't know the outcome of that investigation.
The incident from 3 weeks ago, where reports are a necklace was ripped off and he's got blood on
his neck and stuff, right?
Yeah. But that had police involved, so ABC must have known about that too.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what Chad is saying. Like, let her go out to the NBA All-Star game, put her on GMA yesterday, put her on Mark and Kelly, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yes, they just kept going. And again, even like at that point, when they're sending her out onto the red carpet and the Oscars and the All-Star game and all this, the season is shot. They have done it. They have spent the money. They have the footage. I mean, my sources are telling me, you know, they were editing the show up until literally this announcement came down. So it was all systems go until this video came out. And I think with what they did with Chris Harrison too, after his racism comments in Bachelor season 25, they sent him on Good Morning America, just like they did Taylor Frankie Paul. He read his little PR pre-written statement, and then ABC like took a step back and was like, did it fly? How did the audience react to it? Not well. Okay, now we have to fire him. And I think that's what they were using this week to kind of try to do, is to reinsert her into some promotional stuff and see how the audience would react to it. And if the reaction wasn't like overwhelmingly bad, they were just going to ram that season down our throats and pretend like nothing bad ever happened. Now,
I just like can't imagine there's not going to be like lawsuits, like people being endangered, the players on her season. Like, it just seems like there's a lot of negligence.
I would think the lawsuit would involve, I'm trying to think what ABC, her breaking her contract, and she might be owing them money because the 2 months that were filmed, I don't think she attacked anybody. I don't think she threw a chair at anybody. Like, she was probably on her best behavior. And I was saying this before it was canceled. Like, yeah, I'm sure she was great, because did you see TMZ said, we spoke to contestants who said, hey, Taylor was great. She was kind. She was thoughtful. It's like, yeah, she probably was for those 2 months. You know why? Because Dakota wasn't in the picture. He doesn't show up on this season. He's not part of it. So I guarantee she probably was on her best behavior and probably did make the guys feel great and said all the right things. But honestly, that has nothing to do with anything. That has nothing to do with what happened in 2023. That has nothing to do with whatever happened 3 weeks ago. Like, who cares what the guys say that she was kind and thoughtful? I saw Us Weekly got a hold of their neighbor. Oh, they're really kind. They were very nice. When I moved in, I go ahead and talk to them. It's like, I don't give a shit what your neighbor thinks about you. They have no opinion on any of this. It's what is happening between these two. And now we had a police report. Now we literally have video evidence. And it just, like I said, it drives it home so much deeper than, I mean, just reading that police report was awful. Now we're seeing video of it.
It's so depressing. Yeah. I hope these two people never see each other again. I hope they have some intermediary to transfer custody. I mean, who even knows what's going to happen with custody, but it's just like horrific. And literally without all of these, without all the crime, just watching Slumla this past season, it feels extremely reckless to keep that person cast as the Bachelorette, who's clearly not in a good place mentally.
100%. And I think it, like, to me, this has been a story that has been developing in Bachelor Nation for maybe the past 5 or 6 years, with Bennett Graebner and Claire Freeland taking over the franchise, doing what they have done, just kind of driving the franchise into the ground before they got fired and Scott Teddy came in. But that moment where it's kind of a two-handed moment. They shoot Jen Tran's season of Bachelorette. This is 2 years ago now. And then they go in the LA Times and they say, hey, we haven't had the backs of our leads in a long time. We're going to change that with Jen's season. They gave that interview knowing that Jen's season ended how it ended. Then they air Jen's season. We have the kind of nail in the coffin moment where Jesse Palmer's like, want to watch back your proposal to Devin Strader? She says, do I have a choice? And everybody is like turning their TVs off at that moment. And I just feel like that same kind of sentiment is playing out here. There is no accountability on the part of the people who make this show until they are forced to be accountable by this video getting leaked or something like that. Their intention very clearly was to ignore all of this, sweep it under the rug, sweep it under the rug. Like, can you imagine if they would have aired this season and sometime during the middle of airing it, or even toward the end of it at the men tell all or the after the final rose, would they have asked Taylor Frankie Paul about any of this?
No.
Exactly. Probably and so it becomes this idea to me, the kind of like corporate greed machines that make these shows that are exploiting people for profit and then not protecting the people by either casting somebody who could potentially be dangerous to them in some way, or, you know, purposely manipulating some of these people to do things against their better interests. I just think like reality TV has to be made in a different way now. And I don't know like when that's going to sink in, but I think there's just a lot of old guard producers who came from those early 2000s where it's like the people on these shows are our subjects and we can do whatever we want to them without repercussion, because that's what the contract
extremely exploitative.
When I was looking at it again before this, anything video wise, and I was looking at it from that, I understand what you were saying about that, you know, the end of season 4 leading into it. And, you know, I had heard about that while she was filming and I'm like, but I can't prove it. So I never put it out there. I had heard that the women were waiting for her at the airport. She didn't show up and they went back to their house and they found out that she had sex. I heard about that in November, but I couldn't report it. I had no proof. And it just, now obviously I would have been proven right with the latest and when season 4 came out, but I didn't know that was going to air in season 4. If I knew it was coming out in season 4, I would have put this out there in November. But my thing is, knowing that obviously they're all under the same umbrella, I was like, this is exactly what they were going to do. They were going to end people with season 4 and be like, oh my gosh, now I got to go watch The Bachelorette to see how her journey goes. And then everything on The Bachelorette will be at the beginning of season 5 of Secret Lives. It's just one long storyline. Like that's why they were doing it. And that's why it was airing. And that's why they didn't pull it. But yeah, now the second the video comes out, they're like, oh, clutch the pearls. We got to get rid of this. It's just like like, look, I know they couldn't predict that this video was going to get out. I know they couldn't predict whatever happened 3 weeks ago between her, but you were playing with fire the second you made her the Bachelorette. They had to have
100%.
known that. And that's where I'm just like, I feel no empathy for ABC having to cancel this. Does it hurt my business? Does it hurt our business as content creators that we don't have this show to talk about now for 12 weeks? Yeah.
Sure.
But it's way more bigger than us. Clearly, like,
oh yeah,
of course it should be pulled. But
no, I would not have wanted to recap this season knowing what we know now. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
Lizzie and I were just talking about that before we came on. It's like, if they don't pull this, are we even going to recap this show? And like, what, because our recaps are like, we really view it as a sport and kind of objectively try to see like who's making the best plays and getting the most Instagram followers and stuff. And obviously we try to make it fun and funny and all those things. And it's like, it just feels like a gut punch. You know, I've felt like physically nauseous the past 2 or 3 days, just reading all this stuff. And like Lizzie was saying, we've been kind of hyper binging the last season of Secret Lives, and every episode is just like, oh my God, people are like, she's not ready for this. I hope she doesn't do something bad that implodes
I hope
show in the whole world.
A million people say, I hope she doesn't do something bad. It's like every other line is so ominous in retrospect.
Yeah. And I was, again, from September, this was my whole thing. It's just like, I started hearing while filming was going on, you know, I'll fill somebody in here, fill people in here on this. People know about this because I talked about it. When she was in St. Lucia filming her finale, I got a picture of a guy walking with production in St. Lucia. And at that time, all we had was headshots of guys that were on this season. You know, we didn't know them. All their social media was off. And I got a picture and I reported it as, holy shit, guys, Dakota is down in St. Lucia. They are down to the final two. Well, so everybody started coming to me saying, God. Steve, because it was like from the side, but behind. And one of the guys in her final two looks like Dakota. Everybody's calling him a certain name.
Yes.
So what happened was Dakota contacts me and messages me and says, hey man, wasn't me. And I said, yeah, he was messaging me when everyone started saying, hey, I don't think that's Dakota. So Dakota messages me.
Oh my God.
He messages me and I'm like, hey man, I'm totally sorry. I misidentified. Stop looking like so-and-so. I go and I deleted it all. He's like, hey man, no problem. I get it. Everyone keeps saying that guy looks like me. ... She still loves me. That's what he wrote to me.
Stop. He cannot help himself.
He said that to me
God.
He said that to me in November, basically days before she was about to get engaged. He said she still loves me. Yeah. And look, is he wrong? No, he wasn't, because she said it to him before he left. And we know what she was doing. And look, this is the thing right now that it's, I hate to pat myself on the back here, but Jesus, this is exactly what I said. Like, everybody was telling me, even though I wasn't a Secret Lives fan, everyone was telling me, Steve, before her season even started filming, two things are going to happen. Either she's not picking anybody and she's going to run right back to Dakota, or she'll pick somebody and it won't last because she's not over Dakota. Everyone was telling me, and that's exactly how it ended up playing out, But
like, I don't mind that stuff. And however it ends. Almost no Bachelor couples stay together. Statistically, that's a very small percentage of Bachelor couples. That's fine. What I was excited about when they first announced her is that she is like a reality TV star. All of this other stuff aside, what she does on camera is like mind-blowing. And I was like, that's going to be phenomenal to see as a lead of The Bachelorette. We've never had anything like that. We've seen people like Hannah Brown and stuff kind of ascend into it, but we've never seen somebody who's already proven they are a bona fide reality star take the helm of this. And so for me, that was exciting. And I was like, shit, I hope this works. I just had hope, that this was going to work and it was going to put the franchise back on top. And instead, the exact opposite, like the worst case scenario has basically happened with all this. Certainly you run the risk of that when you cast her, but I don't know. To me, it felt like we'd seen a couple of seasons of Secret Lives, and yes, she's a chaotic person, but it really felt to me like that shit was in her past, and that the audience had embraced that to a degree that still made that show a hit. Like there are millions, she has millions of followers. She was getting more followers after these allegations came out,
Let me ask you this, Chad. Again, as someone who only has seen the first episode of the first seasons, because I wanted to watch the DV incident by the police and all that stuff. That's the only one I've seen. Season 4, I've seen the clips that I've needed to see in regards to things that she has said. Dakota sleeping with somebody else, and then her saying, did you finish? Was it
Not
good?
only sleeping with someone else, sleeping with one of her friends, and then sleeping with this other woman who was part of him lying to her for years about what happened with this other woman. He slept with multiple people in her circle right before she was going on Bachelorette.
So people told me seasons 2 and 3, and maybe this goes to what you just said, seasons 2 and 3, and I guess that's where people started turning towards Taylor of she's getting better, because she was she a lot better in the way she acted in 2 and 3, and then 4 it was just like what, back to her old stuff.
Yeah, I mean, her and Dakota are always kind of like, will they or won't they? Are they good for each other? Are they toxic for each other? You know, she needs to get away from him. That's kind of a plot through the entire series. But certainly I think she at least was acknowledging that they were bad for each other, going to therapy. She was taking steps, at least in the narrative of it. Who knows what's real? But what we're seeing in the document is she is taking steps to rectify the situation and to live a healthier lifestyle. In terms of her relationship with Dakota and her relationship with herself.
And
all
alcohol.
Of that seemed alcohol, all of it. It seemed like she was on that path. And I think in terms of her, kind of archetype in reality television, it is that. It is like, can the phoenix rise from the ashes, basically? That's what we're waiting to see in all of her plot lines. And it felt like she was on that path. And the Bachelorette symbolically represented the final kind of evolution of it, that she's able to go out on her own, date, at least again symbolically, date some other guys and maybe find love that has nothing to do with Dakota, to finally be rid of him. And they kind of tease that idea in season 4, that it's like her mom says to her a couple times, you need to get out of here, go have fun, do that thing, don't think about him, fully indulge in this because it's a great opportunity. Also, though, there's very open gameplay speech all through this season. Her mom says to her at one point, you're going to blow this deal. Not that you're not going to be the Bachelorette, but you're going to blow the deal. They see it as like a brand opportunity as well. And that was another thing that I thought was going to be fascinating about this season, is that you have a bona fide influencer, which in prior seasons is a big no-no. That's for the wrong reasons. If you even have an Instagram account or say the word Instagram, fuck you, you're off the show. But here we have somebody who has millions of followers. That's her business, and it's going to have to be accepted. Now that's obviously all out the window. So we don't even get the bonus of that kind of like step into contemporary media understanding that, social media is not bad. It's not the devil. It's a job. And she was very good at it.
So Lizzie, when you obviously you saw the video, obviously we're all affected by it. It was just a disgusting video. And now that they have officially come out and said, canceling the Bachelorette, I have people in the comments asking, and look, we don't know the answer, but what do you think? Is the franchise dead? Are we never going to see another Bachelor, Bachelorette, or Bachelor in Paradise show going forward?
I don't look. Chad and I were just discussing this before we got on here. I think if I put myself in their shoes, I either try to scrap together a live season of Bachelor or Bachelorette starring someone who is squeaky clean.
Yeah.
Maybe a Maura Higgins from Traitors in Love Island.
Traitor. He's a traitor.
Maybe I think I could be the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Maybe you do Miranda from Slumwa. She's like not squeaky clean, but I think a fan favorite, especially the last season. Officially single, doesn't seem to be in a cyclically toxic relationship with her baby daddy. Latia Gar, a wonderful candidate to be the Bachelorette. Susie Evans. There's just so many.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were promoting that one gymnast to be the Bachelorette.
Alona Mar.
Yeah. That's kind of my dream scenario. They scramble together, get the guys back, maybe bring in some new guys if some of them can't do it, and address it also. Like maybe this week, maybe next week, and be like, here's what happened. We don't support TV. We're we feel like we should make it up to the guys or something. Like, so we're going to try to do this like thing we've never done before, shoot it live. Love Island does it. Shoots week by week and edits it week by week. I don't know if Bachelor can like get that nimble, but
they can't.
That's what I would love to see. I don't think they do Bachelor in Paradise next, though.
No,
I don't think they can do that until they get some more pools of people.
Chad, what do you think?
I don't know. Like the cloud that is now hanging over the franchise is so fucking dark. I don't think you can just be like, well, we scrapped that season, on to the next. Here's our new Bachelor. Like, I don't think that's going to work. They have to go dark for a while, probably for the rest of this year, I think. And then maybe you launch a whole new campaign that's like, look, we have fucked up big time. We are going to do our best to never have that happen again. We're doing like better vetting, better psych evals, and all the people that are going to be in this franchise from now on, they are really here for the right reasons, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They need some formal acknowledgement of how bad this decision was creatively and that it will never happen again. Are they going to do that? Probably not, because they never do that. So
like a roundtable discussion, like a men tell all, talking about this season, not talking about who went on the dates and who got roses and stuff, but like a group discussion with the men about, hey, I don't even know what you would talk. Like, what do you? I guess
you
what do we need to hear from the men
of Disney. You need, or Rob Mills, if he's still going to have a job after this. You need somebody like that to come out and issue a statement, like on video. And I just don't think they'll ever do that. I think the franchise is, in terms of the fandom, so damaged. I like when Jen Tran had her nail in the coffin moment, I got a ton of DMs. I'm never watching the show again. The amount that I have gotten now is probably 50 times that. I just think the damage done to the credibility of the franchise is irreparable. I think it needs to take a year off maybe, and then come back on streaming probably, or something. There needs to be some drastic change in how it's presented, how it's produced. And I don't think that you can just like load up another season in January, Bachelor's back. Like any of that kind of like shitty saccharine promotion for it is not going to fly with the audience now, because this is the worst moment in the history of the franchise by far. I think this eclipses the Chris Harrison stuff a million times over. And in order to repair that, I just don't know that it even can be repaired. They might try, because the IP still has this kind of legacy value, and it may mean money to the corporate greed machines, but like the audience, I feel like personally fucking, damaged by this. And I can't be the only one. How many people, I mean, you're like this too, I'm sure. You've spent how much of your life analyzing this product, talking about it, its place in pop culture, interviewing all the people who have made it and been in it and all of that. Like, how are you feeling with this right now?
I mean, my take has always been, I don't give a shit who they make as the lead on any given season. I'll give my opinion on it, but it's like, to me, all I cared about was that there was a season, because it gives me obviously content to talk about. Now in this situation, I'm like, yeah, for 12 weeks, something that I had planned. I was going to go live. I'm going to do live every Sunday night. Obviously that goes out the window, but that's neither here nor there. I'm at a I don't know situation of if the franchise is dead. I totally get why they pulled this season, for sure. My question now becomes, and here's what I think should happen with Secret Lives. She should never be able to go back on that show. No. I think
she's done.
Have watched the show. You guys have watched the show enough. Does that show go away, or are the women outside of the other 7 women, main women on that show, are they big enough now to carry that show without her?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, 100%.
She'll never be back on Secret Lives.
Whitney and Macy can carry it.
Yeah,
especially without her, because it's seemingly they shut down season 5 production because the women came together and said, we don't want to film right now. And now I don't see any way, if production says, okay, we've taken a week off, we've taken 2 weeks off, however long this pause is for season 5, there is no way they can allow Taylor back on. But it's so funny to say that, because you're saying, oh my gosh, this video, Taylor, it's so bad. It's like,
right,
but you knew it was there. And you didn't do anything about it before, but now that it's out, it's like clutch the pearls. Oh my gosh. This is what's the whole weird thing about, if the video that came out today, like when when someone first sent it to me and I was watching the video, it wasn't until I read the description under the video that I thought this was the attack from 3 weeks ago. And I was like, oh, okay, now it makes sense. You got to cancel. I was just like, but now these people are acting all high and mighty. Like you said, the corporate people, Chad, they're acting all high and mighty when they knew this was there, and they filmed 4 seasons of 10 episodes each of Secret Lives, or 8 or 10 episodes. And they filmed a season with her. It's like, so it only took the video, it only took the visual for you to be like, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't have done this.
But they don't even care about the visual. That's all lies. Did you ever watch Succession on HBO?
No.
It's a
it's really
I know what it's
good.
about, but I haven't watched it.
So there are many plot lines in that show where like some big scandal is erupting, that like somebody got killed on one of their cruise lines or something, and they just swept it all under the carpet. And then they're like, okay, well, it's coming out now. What do we do? And they all huddle around their PR manager and they come up with some lie to, like, they don't care about the death in that show. They care about getting caught in sweeping it under the rug. And that is what's happening here too.
Yeah, they're upset that it got out. And
they're not canceling until the absolute worst thing happens, which is this video.
Which is this video. And that's what's just ironic to me, is that they were fine with a police report that had a detail of everything we saw in that video. They were fine because that video happened before the very first episode of Secret Lives ever aired. So they knew about it. They knew a police report. They, I'm assuming, had read that police report, and they didn't seem to care and filmed 4 seasons with her.
But
and it's
this is what I'm talking about how reality TV used to be made. This is some early 2000s, like Jerry Springer influence type shit, where it's like, okay, we've got the bad one. She's going to be the one who's always in trouble with the cops and whatever. And then we've got this one and that one. They have kind of like a cast of characters, almost like a boy band type thing. And each one of them represents a certain type of person. And Taylor Frankie Paul was the chaos agent in that group. And that's what they were going to use her as. And I mean, you look at like Real Housewives, people get arrested all the time. People go to jail in that damn show, and they just keep pumping it out because in these ensemble cast shows, you can have one character, narratively speaking, who's doing very bad shit all the time and threatening to bring down the whole friend group, as it's called on Slomo. Will mom talk survive this? They're always asking that question. Yeah. And it's just different when it's not an ensemble cast. Now she's the lead of a show, and what she is being asked to do symbolically is represent everything that a bachelorette is, which is a kind of perfect person who anyone would be lucky to fall in love with or have a chance to date or whatever. That's what she's symbolically representing. Implicitly, that's what the bachelorette is, and that's what the bachelor is as well. Whoever the lead of that show is on this pedestal. Yeah. You can't have a person who has all this shit. But I mean, like I'm saying, just going back to what Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 4 even is about, is that she's not a bachelorette. They're all saying, not even that she's not ready, just that like this isn't going to work if you're still in love with this other guy. Just the basic premise of the Bachelorette is she's ready to find love. Even that is like blown out of the water.
She can pass a psych, like you mentioned the psych evaluations, Chad. I'm like, what are these psych evaluations? Are you kidding me? Like
asking her if she's okay, and she says yes.
Yeah, basically.
You're done.
Do you want to do this?
Yeah.
This is part of why it's so bad that reality players don't have a union. They don't have the same kind of protections that other industries have. And the mental health aspect is severely underserved. Like, people come out of these things, especially a lot of people who haven't even gotten a lot of money. At least, the leads are getting paid. It's like no one is prepared mentally for the watch back period. And they don't have the support while they're shooting. And whatever the psych support is, it's clearly not enough.
Yeah, and we sit here, we talk about the future of this franchise. We don't know. Secret Lives, we're all under the same agreements that she should never go back on that show.
Or Dakota.
I got it. And if she's not on the show, there's no point to have Dakota, right? I mean, I know he's friends with some of the other guys, but I don't think he's got a big enough storyline without Taylor.
Yeah.
I just hope neither of them are on the show again.
It's interesting. I mean, God, I do think that show can survive. There, I mean, almost I would say really all of the other Secret Lives women are incredibly compelling. In various ways. Like I said, it's kind of like an Avengers or something. You know, there's like each one of them has their own kind of lane and they're doing their own thing, and they're all like super fun to watch. That said, Taylor, Frankie Paul, and Dakota were, I mean, I don't think it's arguable. They were the main characters of that show, and their relationship is kind of the backbone of it. It's like whatever's going on with them affects all of the other ones because they're not showing up, or they are showing up, or now they're fighting at the Halloween party, or whatever the thing may be. It will be a drastically different show tonally, I think, because you don't have that element, that threat of like, oh my God, is these two people's relationship going to bring us all down? Without that kind of narrative threat, I don't know like what
that story has ended. Their relationship has brought everyone down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we got the final conclusion to that, but they'll have to, and I mean, that's up to the producers to kind of manufacture some fake obstacles for all these couples and stuff. But yeah, I still would like to watch Secret Lives even without them in it. I think it would just be a much different show.
She's literally in the new credits. It's all the women lined up, and then she's in a swing above all of them in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, and they elected her the official leader of Mom Talk last season.
Yeah. And I know it was created, basically, she was the driving force behind this show ever taking off, the driving force behind Mom Talk. Basically got it. I understand this show revolves around her. But when you do what you did, and this is now out there, I mean, again, I think, unfortunately, this might not even be the worst of it, because what if video footage does come out of whatever happened 3 weeks ago? Then it's like even double. I mean, the other thing is, and you guys know this probably more than me, and Lizzie, do you know, well, we already saw, sucks for her, she doesn't get to have Cinnabon for life anymore since they had pulled out a couple days ago. What other, she's going to lose every sponsorship deal that she has, I believe. Who is she? Who does she have as sponsors? Are you aware of? Do you know?
I don't know. They've had all sorts of random sponsors on the show. Yeah. There's like Hydro Jug has been one of them.
Something with Crocs, since isn't that her thing? The Crocs.
She's always wearing Crocs. Crocs is probably pretty upset about this because this season would have been huge for them.
Yeah.
No, she's gonna lose all of it, but.
And I gotta believe ABC can go after her because they are losing whatever advertising dollars that were poured into this by sponsors that said, we want to advertise on The Bachelorette. Well, now The Bachelorette isn't airing. Why isn't it airing? Because of Taylor Frankie Paul. We had to pull it off the air because of her behavior. So now, Taylor, you owe us this. Like, I don't know how it works in that world, but
their contracts have like everything in it. You basically sell your soul. So I imagine she's done something that violent.
Yeah, she's definitely in breach of the contract.
Yeah,
at the very least, for like the promotional period leading into the show, the lead is required to like promote the show. I would
not spoil the show.
Say this is anti-promotion, and and she spoiled the show as well. Perhaps.
Wait,
like, it's spoiled.
Steve, I don't know who is the ring winner.
Oh, you don't?
Do you want to tell me?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're not going to see a show. You know where this is going to be. This is going to.
I'm ready.
This is going to fit right into the Game of Roses.
You can spoil me.
Yeah.
This is going to fit right into the Game of Roses. Is there a dark underworld video of Claire Crawley's first night? Now we've got a dark underworld 12 episodes of Taylor Frankie Paul season. Will it ever surface in the deep dark underworld of the internet where somebody's just going to release it online? But
I have night one open in my other tab. Just hoping they don't pull it.
I will see this season. That is a guarantee.
Okay, so Lizzie, the guy that won the ring, she did get engaged at the end of this journey. And his name is Doug Mason. He's 28 years old from San Diego. But because he looks like
the lifeguard,
everybody was calling him Doug Coda. That's all anybody's been calling him since the end of the show because he looks like Dakota.
Oh my God. Of course she picked the lookalike.
Look, when when
He had
those
a good
videos came
Instagram.
out before filming even started, I had people telling me, everybody that was commenting on the guy's headshots were saying, that Doug guy looks totally like Dakota. I bet she picks him. And that's exactly what she ended up doing.
But they're broken up now, right?
They in January, they broke up. It was filmed. Cameras went to Salt Lake City and filmed the breakup. But then, I'm sure you saw the report, or maybe you didn't.
Filmed the breakup.
This past Saturday, paparazzi got pictures of Doug and Dakota exiting their car at their happy couple weekend. Not together, but separately.
Doug and Taylor Frankie Paul.
Doug and Taylor Frankie Paul.
Oh,
did I say Dakota?
Doug is with Dakota now.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Yeah. Doug and TFP are back together, you're saying?
Well, that's the thing that we don't know. On Saturday,
I saw she posted a video with some guy's arm, and he looked white.
That was Doug. Because we know now it's Doug. We didn't know at the time who it was, but when we got the pictures that came out a couple days ago from Saturday, they said these pictures were taken in Saturday in Sherman Oaks of Taylor Frankie Paul and one of her contestants, both exiting the SUV separately. But Doug had the same exact shirt on than the guy in the video that she posted on Sunday, which was obviously a later gram, because Sunday we know she was at the Oscars and she posted that video in the kitchen, when she was wearing her sweats. So she posted it a day later, but she was with Doug. We don't know what that means. I don't know, but we know how wishy-washy she is in relationships. Absolutely.
The arm video is breach of contract. But
it could have been, they could have told her, we want you to, who knows?
Right.
But
tease it.
The bottom line is, she's so wishy-washy with the amount of time she went back to Dakota. Is it far-fetched to think that after she called it off with Doug in January, she decided to keep in touch with him and said, hey, maybe let's give it a try, maybe come out for a happy couple weekend and let's see if we can maybe work on things.
Or even pretend that we're back together.
Or pretend, exactly.
Yeah.
Because
I think that was I think ABC probably wanted to be able to shoot an after the final rose where they were still together. Yeah. And so they were like, you have to make this work. We need you guys on camera in a month and a half or whatever at the after the final rose.
What an absolute disaster.
I've been covering this show obviously as long as I have.
Yeah.
And obviously we know every season when a couple gets engaged at the end, from the time filming ends till the time after the final rose happens, they have multiple meetups that are all arranged by ABC. In 51 seasons of this show, there have never been paparazzi pictures have gotten out of them being caught going into the happy couple house. Like something.
Oh, you're saying it's a setup.
Something is fishy about the fact that how would any paparazzi know where to show up that Doug and Taylor were getting out of vans? Like, those happy couple houses literally change every year. They don't just show up at the same house every year. They change houses. So the fact that paparazzi caught them makes me think somehow, some way ABC wanted this out there, but I don't know if it means they're back together.
No way.
And now after this, I have no idea what's going on.
There's no way ABC wanted this out there. They were actively trying to cover it all up. I think the reason that paparazzi got him is because it's Taylor Frankie Paul.
Yeah.
You've never had a bachelorette this famous. It's like anywhere she goes, as soon as her plane lands in LAX, paparazzi are calling each other. Taylor Frankie Paul is here. Let's follow the car. I think that was probably real paparazzi work, getting the scoop. The idea that ABC could sue her, though, I think is like, I think they're looking at that very closely, because it also narratively distances them from her, and it puts the onus on her. She did the bad thing. We had nothing to do with it. We're suing her. She fucked us over. We're the victims here too. I think they'll probably try to go with that type of an identity in this entire scandal. Personally,
they're the victims, but they were initially complicit in it by making her the Bachelorette, knowing she had a messy past, knowing that this woman clearly wasn't over not only just a guy in her past, the father of her child, who she will have to co-parent with the rest of her life, essentially. And now, like I said, we talked about it in the beginning. Reports are TMZ has said that Tate and Dakota have both filed for sole custody of their children. Tate, the 2 children, Dakota with Ever. I would even think, even if there's no video footage of whatever happened 3 weeks ago, I got to think if there's anything to that story. I believe there's a police report from that, right?
Yeah.
From what happened 3 weeks ago.
There's an active investigation happening.
Isn't that already a violation of her probation? Like, isn't she really, and this is a horrible topic, but isn't she in serious danger of losing Ever? Or
I think she's in serious danger of going to jail as well. because of it. From what I read, I'm pretty sure this is accurate, but don't exactly quote me on this. But I believe the window of her probation was until August of this year.
It was. That's correct.
Okay. So she couldn't get in any kind of legal trouble whatsoever. Now she has an allegation that's being investigated by cops of domestic violence, which is the very thing she was on probation for.
Yes.
So clearly that's going to be a violation of her probation if indeed the investigation susses out that, yes, she is culpable for this or guilty of this. I think you're going to see, I mean, her life right now is effectively over, I think.
It's in shambles for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I before this video came out, my whole thing was I released videos last week. It's on my, Instagram feed of just saying like, look, this woman doesn't need to be in front of cameras. She needs help. She seriously needs help because, the thing that I posted last week was a screenshot, and this is obviously verified, a screenshot of Dakota's phone from in January. She called him 150 times in one night. That is verified. It was sent to me. And again, that's not someone who is clearly over her ex, whatever it was, whatever it led to. But at 344.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know the context. Maybe he had her kid or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was
it's just
to see that is just
I feel so horrible. I feel so horrible. I feel so horrible for these kids. Like every time they show the kids on Slama, I get sad. I'm just like, I don't think they should be allowed to be on TV. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even think kids should be actors.
I know that
that's for another day.
I know that TMZ is what they are, and they do break a lot of huge stories. They do have a lot of photo evidence of things and video evidence of things. But do you think this video needed to be posted? Just curious.
Or you get them to cancel the season?
No, just should TMZ have posted, hey, we got, however they obtained it, whether it was from somebody in Dakota's camp sliding it to them, should they have posted it because it has given such a visceral reaction to women and or men, probably more women that have been in DV situations, and just seeing something like this is obviously very triggering. Should they have released it?
I mean, I hope they put a trigger warning on it.
They did. But again, should it be seen? Like
it's hard to say. I mean, like you're saying, that's TMZ's business model is to break entertainment news stories and stuff, Yeah. Like if you get this video in your possession, like if somebody sent us at Game of Roses this video, we would not post it.
No.
But, is TMZ, we're not TMZ. And she right now is the focal point of one of the biggest stories in entertainment news. And that video is kind of the next biggest piece of that story. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what like journalistic integrity TMZ claims to have. It's fucking TMZ, I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that question is. I know that it was a difficult video to watch. Yeah. I know that it does add some kind of detail to the story that we didn't have prior. Like you said, reading the allegation or the police report from the first thing was like bad enough. Seeing it definitely put it in a different context for me. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that question is. It's hard.
Yeah. It's one of these things where when you looking at it now after the fact, you're like, this is horrible. And yeah, I mean, TMZ people can question their journalistic integrity till the end of the day. And yeah, they have a right to be questioned. I mean, this was the same organization, I believe, that had Kobe Bryant pictures, and didn't they momentarily release them of the helicopter crash, or they knew about it or something along those lines? It was something.
I don't know.
But this situation, I think, is just. I mean, if this was I keep saying, going back to this was 2023. It's like it just still bothers me that this video existed, and it just seemed like a network and a corporation had their fingers crossed and prayed that it didn't get out.
Mm-hmm.
And now that it did, they're like, oh boy, well, we're just appalled at this. We have to cancel the season. And it's just
the language when they're like, we're pulling it and we're focusing on supporting the family is like, that is such BS.
Oh, of course.
With that.
You're not helping the family.
They've shot 4 seasons of exploitative content of that family.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they've known her behavior. And look, when I questioned Taylor Frankie Paul back in September, and I've been questioning it for 6 months. Like, I have said she should never have been the Bachelorette. A pushback that I got from a lot of people was, well, it doesn't mean anybody gets second chances in this world. And it's like, I'm not against second chances. It was just the platform that she was in. She just didn't need to be the Bachelorette. She can get a second chance at love. She just didn't need to be televised for it. And I think now when I look at it, I'm trying to figure out, like, again, she's obviously not getting this season aired. She's probably never going back to Secret Lives. And she's going to lose a lot of money because she's probably losing sponsors. What happens? What does this show do? Obviously, they're going to have to find some sort of, Celebrity Family Feud reruns for the next 12 weeks on Sunday nights, whatever they're going to
I was thinking that exact same thing.
Pressure Luck
is going to air Sunday nights? I have no idea.
Game show night. They're going to just probably rerun the game shows that they run. But what do you do? I mean, maybe I think if you're the show, don't you have to not only put out a bigger statement than what they did already, saying we're canceling, we're delaying it or whatever till now? Don't you think, like, just as the phrase I'm looking at is not peace offering, but say we are going to make a donation to a woman's shelter.
100%.
They have to do that, right?
100%. Absolutely.
They should take.
But will they? Again,
they should match whatever advertising money they got from this, in my opinion, and put it in a trust fund for her kids. That's what I would do. Here, we're so sorry we destroyed your whole fucking lives.
Or split it between the kids and, like,
and as bad as today was, like
victims.
And as bad as today was, man, I'm telling you, if more shit comes out from 3 weeks ago, I mean, it's going to be, and that is like stuff where it's like, okay, because like we talked about, that is a violation of her probation that she was on for pleading guilty to certain charges of domestic violence. So
Correct.
And that was going till it was up through August. She had 3 years on it, right? Or 3 years, and up till August it was going to end. If that happened 3 weeks ago and they find more stuff and what the reports are about choking and necklaces and blood on the neck, if that's all true, I mean, what at this point you just throw your hands up and I feel terrible for Taylor, but she also has to understand, like, I didn't like the answers she was giving on GMA and Mark and Kelly. That whole
what answers?
Well, the one answer I'm specifically saying is, I got a premiere this Sunday and another premiere is ruined for me. Like, you didn't have a role in that, Taylor? Like, come on. Like, that really was not the right answer to give.
I feel like that's like subtweet at Dakota because he tries to blow up her premieres.
Yeah, it was.
God.
Yeah.
So maybe they should buy Love Overboard and air that.
Well, the first episode of Love Overboard was airing after Bachelorette on Sunday night, and then it's Hulu.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it's on my DVR.
It's airing on ABC.
Just the first episode. Yeah,
interesting. And they should just air it in the slot. It seems like a perfect.
But they have their whole season drops on March 26th, so they're dropping all 10 episodes. So if they were planning on doing a one episode a week, then I would say you might as well put that in place of Bachelorette. But their whole season is dropping on March 26th of Love Overboard. So.
Do you know when her other show, Who Wants to Marry Harry, is coming out?
I feel like that was filmed 1.5 years ago. Like, I've been hearing about that one. And he showed up on season 4 of Secret Lives. I know that he's constantly on his podcast flirting with women. Like, I talk about a show that I understand it's Harry Jowsey and he draws eyeballs, but talk about a show that's not remotely believable that this guy literally found somebody on a dating show. There's no.
But I mean, that's where we are. All reality dating shows are pro wrestling. Everybody is going on them to get famous. This Taylor Frankie Paul thing is like, I mean, come on.
She didn't literally just watch the whole season. She already was famous. It was just
sure. But she was going on as a brand deal. As her mom even said, you're going to ruin this brand deal.
Yeah,
that's what this was to her. That's what it is to everybody coming into these shows. The more famous you are, the more likely it's going to be that. Yeah. And I think it's like, in some ways, I feel like maybe this is a kind of reckoning moment for reality dating formats where it's like, you get it now, right? This is all a lie. These are games people are playing to get Instagram followers. And that is it. She has proven that. it's been proven also that the corporate greed machines, ABC, Warner Brothers, are trying to hide the fact that it's a lie from you and just pump it out, keep promoting, put it on TV, fingers crossed, like you're saying, that like the truth doesn't come out. These shows are all lies.
Yeah.
And that's fine. They can still entertain us, just like pro wrestling is a lie. We know the outcomes of all pro wrestling matches are determined. We all agree on that, right? The same
Housewives are loosely scripted, you know. We enjoy those.
And that really is, I think, a part of this that maybe will like start to sink into the general viewing audience a little bit better. But ultimately, I think in terms of like the Bachelor franchise, we are just in the worst spot that it's ever been in. And it's coming off like this was billed as like, oh, it's the great resurgence of Bachelor Nation with this famous lead and everybody's interested. And then the exact
bring
opposite
back
happens.
all the Bachelorettes, which I loved that special, by the way. I watched that special before all this happened, and I was like, oh my God, it was
same
inspiring.
Yeah.
That special pissed me off.
What?
Wait, why?
You know why, right?
No.
That special was filmed right before she went to go film Hometowns. Like they were literally a month into filming when they filmed that. So this whole notion of these women sitting across from her like,
wait,
hey,
what?
If this happens on your journey, and this isn't even something that's like, oh, Reality Steve had intel. Go to any of those women's Instagram pages on November 20th of last year in their red pajamas. They all posted that day. So it was November 20th. She literally was at hometown dates. So all that bullshit that all these women were talking, they were all in on it. They were all just going along with what producers told them. Like, hey, pretend this is the first night and she's going out on her journey and what she should expect. It's like, jerk me off. This is so stupid. This isn't real.
I get tricked constantly.
That's what I'm saying, Steve. It's all pro wrestling. It's complete.
I just like pointing it out. I just like pointing it out. That's why that one pissed me off.
But like,
because here's the thing that pissed me off about it. It's so insignificant in the grand scheme of things because we know in the past they've had former leads come back the night before filming and be like, hey, just want to give you some advice. We do this and do this. Expect this season and be yourself. So it's like you have had the ability. Now, this is different because they had to bring back however many it was, 20, 25 women. I'm sure it was probably a timing thing where they couldn't get everybody in real time before night one to get there. But then to do it literally when she's down to her final four and pretend that she was sitting there answering questions. And some of these women were like, and she's like, well, what do I do if there's a guy that's really unruly? Come on, Taylor.
How do I find out who's here for the right reasons?
They could have been like, here's our advice for hometowns.
It's pro wrestling. I'm trying to tell you guys, this is all scripted. Most of these reality shows, look, in a standard season of Bachelor or Bachelorette, what happens is your lead shows up and selects the top 1, 2, 3 players that they want to take to the end on night one. That happens almost every season. There may be some variation. That little list may shift a little bit over the course of a season, but most of every season is the producers arranging who gets eliminated in what order, who gets the group date roses, who gets the first impression roses. It's all
fake. Can't be true. Blake Moynes won a ring. He wasn't even there night one.
There are some standout players like Blake Moynes who can do special things, just like any sport. Okay, Nick Viall is one of those two, the greatest player in the history of the game, undeniably at this point.
He didn't win a ring, but okay.
How about Blake Moynes, our animal conservationist, whatever, you know what I'm saying? How about him as our next bachelor? He seems to be like a nice guy.
Would love it.
Deserves it. Yeah. They have dangled that carrot in front of him for fucking years.
Give it to him. It was supposed to be him over Grant. And
Clues has a painting by him.
I do. Do you recognize?
You have a painting. You have a painting of Blake Moynes, or
no? That Blake did on the show.
Do you recognize this painting?
I do, and there's that painting has like almost 2 meanings to it.
Possibly. I can't believe you recognize
the title of that painting is Life. Just to let you know.
Certainly looks like it. The beginning of life.
It's one of
we
my most
need to increase the value of it by getting Blake the crown.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. I know
thanks
this
for
is
having us.
Crazy. Now I got to look at a phone that has 27 Instagram messages and 18 text messages.
Same. I'm looking at my DMs right now. It's just like I can't deal with this. There's no way I can get through all this today.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Oh wait, one last thing. I know people have said this. I know he's got a girlfriend, but Rob Roush as the Bachelor. How we die?
Yes.
If he was single.
Yes, that would be my dream.
Yeah.
Same.
If he was single. Yeah, I think that he could work.
He
Even if
can
he's
make that
not.
happen.
Even if he's not,
just
I don't
pretend to
care.
break up with his girlfriend. Who
Pro
cares?
wrestling it.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
All right. Thanks a lot, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
dude.
See ya.